She shot me right in the damn foot just because I was grilling a fish. I'd caught myself from my own lake on my own land. And the worst part is she genuinely believed she was saving lives. I know it sounds made up like something you'd see in a bad sitcom, but let me back up a sec because the story that led to a bullet in my boot is about a whole lot more than fish. It's about what happens when someone turns their personal crusade into your daily nightmare. I live, or well lived, in a quiet little slice of Idaho tucked away in this neighborhood called Stillwater Ridge. It's the kind of spot people talk about when they say the good life. You know, just me, a tool shed that's seen better days. And this lake I basically raised like it was my own kid. For years it was peaceful, my own private kingdom where I could fish, tinker, grill, and let my mind wander. At least that's how it was, until Megan Thorne moved in next door. Now you gotta picture Megan to get the full effect. Blonde, high-end yoga pants that probably cost more than my grill and a Tesla plastered in vegan stickers like the whole clean living, cruelty-free Save the Planet starter pack. Which, hey, good for her, honestly. I got no beef with people who want to eat lettuce all day. But Megan didn't want to just live her life. She wanted to save us all from ourselves, whether we liked it or not. And when I say save, I mean dictate. It started with the brisket. My first Saturday smoking a nice cut of brisket on the patio, sun shining, feeling good, and suddenly there she was, storming across the lawn like she was leading an intervention. You're releasing trauma into the air. I thought maybe she was talking about propane or whatever. But no, turns out I was traumatizing the whole cul-de-sac with my barbecue. I laughed. Honestly, it was so out there I thought she was joking. She wasn't. Pretty soon, Megan made it her mission to stalk the entire neighborhood, calling out anyone who dared bring home bacon chicken or anything that used to have a face. I'd come back from the store groceries still in the bag, and she'd be yelling across the driveway, "I can sense the death in your cart." She told people she had a meat or a radar. You can't make this stuff up. And while the rest of us tried to shrug her off, ignore her, she wasn't satisfied just judging us. She wanted control. She filed noise complaints about my smoker. She called in grill smoke as air pollution. She taped these sad little leaflets to every door about the butcher industry like she was Paul Revere but for tofu. She even told my neighbor Gary, who, by the way, is a retired Marine and eats more eggs than a diner at Sunday brunch, that eating eggs made him complicit in genocide. Gary nearly choked laughing. But see, things got real when she turned her sights on my lake. That lake's not public. Not even a little bit. Sits entirely on my property, has for decades. I fish it, I clean it, I plant reeds, and check the water quality, you name it. But to Megan, it was a sacred place, belongs to nature, she said, as if she was the sheriff of Mother Earth. One afternoon, I'm out casting off the dock, minding my own, when I hear her shouting from the edge of her lawn, "You can't do that. That lake belongs to nature," I told her as calm as I could. "No, it belongs to me. And trust me, I take better care of it than you do those succulents you keep killing." She didn't laugh. She just glared, arms crossed, like she was building a case. For weeks, she'd watch me from her kitchen, every time I so much as dipped a line in the water. Just standing there, no words. Just those eyes, like I was on some tofu watch list. I put up private property, no trespassing signs. She took pictures of them, then filed a complaint for hostility toward animal rights. Yeah, that happened. One weekend I caught a beautiful rainbow trout, biggest I'd seen all season, maybe 1.5 feet, shimmering like a piece of art. I planned to cook it up right away, grilled fresh, nothing fancy. I cleaned it by the dock, did it as humanely as possible, used the scraps for compost. Not an ounce wasted. I fired up the grill just as the sun started dipping the air. Cool birds making a racket, meat sizzling, that perfect moment you wait for all week. That's when I heard it, her voice slicing through the evening. "You monster!" I turn and there's Megan storming across my lawn in a white sundress, looking for all the world like Mother Earth's wrath had a fashion budget. I took a step back, heart pounding. "What the hell are you doing on my property?" She points. "You're murdering that creature right in front of me." I tried to keep it together. "It's a fish, Megan. It was already dead when I cleaned it. I'm not running a crime scene here." She starts shouting about God's children and desecrating life. I asked her as gently as I could to leave, that she was trespassing, that I had no interest in joining her food religion. She kept screaming, and then this is where everything turned. She reached into her bag, pulled out a handgun. For a second, everything went quiet. Even the birds shut up. I didn't move, didn't breathe, couldn't process it. This is the same woman who cried over cheese commercials now aiming a loaded gun at me over a trout. I say soft and slow, "Put it down, Megan." She shouts back, "I won't let you kill again." And before I could even step back, she squeezes the trigger. White hot pain just rips through my foot. I hit the ground, screaming, blood pouring out the dirt, turning a nasty shade of red. I'm lying there writhing, and now she's crying, real tears, gun lying in the grass, her hands shaking, muttering about righteous vengeance. My phone's slippery with blood, but I dial 911. My neighbor shot me. She shot me in the foot. I need an ambulance and police, lots of police. When they showed up, she was still standing there mumbling about saving souls, tears streaming down, but she didn't try to run, just stood there lost like she couldn't tell if she was the victim or the hero. The officers asked her to back away from the weapon. She let them cuff her, still whispering, still convinced she'd done the right thing. Meanwhile, I'm loaded onto a stretcher, this young cop looking at me, shaking his head. What happened here? All I could muster was, she didn't like the smell of fish. Turns out the bullet went clean through my foot, missed the bones but tore up tendons and nerves like it had a grudge. You ever tried to hop to the bathroom on one foot at 2 a.m. cursing every bone in your body? Yeah, that was my life for months. Megan got charged felony assault, trespassing, illegal firearm possession, no gun license, not even close. Hell, it's easier to get a fishing permit than a gun permit in Idaho. But she had neither. Her defense said she just wanted to scare me, that it went off by accident, and that she was only trying to protect innocent lives. The judge didn't buy it, jury didn't buy it, nobody bought it except maybe Megan herself. Last I heard, she's still in prison, still convinced she did the right thing. And me, I ended up selling the place a couple years later, moved closer to family, figured I'd earned a break from the drama. But sometimes, on days when my foot's acting up and the limp comes back, I can still smell that grilled trout, still hear her voice. And I think about how a peaceful life can flip upside down in a heartbeat. All because some folks believe their truth matters more than anybody else's. I mean, this is what peace and love looks like when it's holding a gun, right? Makes you wonder who the real danger is, the guy grilling fish on his own land or the neighbor who decides her cause is worth a bullet. So now I gotta ask, where do you draw the line? When does someone's passion turn into a problem? I want to know what you think was there. Ever a moment when you felt justice got twisted, or maybe you saw someone go too far for their beliefs? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me where you stand, and if you've ever had a neighbor story that made you question, which side of the fence you're really on.